Singapore, and I really like the devotees in Singapore, and I really like visiting here and getting your association. And, well, it's nice not having to use a translator too. We were in Malaysia and having to use, Tamil translator, because we have nothing against Tamil, but it just sort of interrupts things a bit to have a translator. So it's nice to be with those who can speak English fluently. So, well, on one of these days, what is it? Is it Thursday? Is it Thursday? It's Lord Nityananda's appearance day. And it's such a special day. Really special occasion. Because Lord Nityananda is really such a special person. And I'm sure on the day, you're going to have a big program here, a big festival. And I don't want to sort of detract from that. But anyway, we'll try and glorify Lord Nityananda a little bit. First thing we'll do is we'll read the song, and we'll sing the song, which is up there. It's a very simple little song, not complicated, but it's very beautiful. And we'll sing it. And can you follow? I can try. You can try. Okay. We will pray that you're successful. First of all, it's a devotee from one of the lower religions. Krishna appears in all species of life, so don't stress about it too much. These things happen. So, okay, what we'll do though, right now, is we'll just go through the song. It's a song by Narahari Sarkar. If you've heard of him, great devotee associate of Lord Chaitanya, from Sri Khanda, which is just sort of to the northwest from Mayapur area. And he's mentioned in the Arati song. I guess we're going to sing the Arati song in a little while. And you know where it says, Narahari Adhikari Chamra Dulaya. You know what I'm referring to? That's Narahari, this Narahari who wrote this song. Very great devotee. So let's just go through it. So when we do sing, then you know what you're singing. So it's called Nitai Mora, my Nitai. Yes, my Lord Nitai. Ubana Pavana, Nitai Mora, Najanika Bhave, Sadai Bora. It's the first verse, which means, my Lord Nitai purifies all the worlds. How is he always overcome with the ecstasy of spiritual love? I do not know. Then the next verse, well, I'll just read the Bengali. Gora Gora Bali, Du Bahutuli, Mata Gachayena, Chalaye Duli. Raising his arms, he chants, Gora, Gora, like an intoxicated elephant. He sways to and fro. And the third verse, Kante Jalamala, Malati Mala, Parisara buke karaye kela. On his neck glistens a jasmine garland, a garland that playfully rests on his chest. Verse 4. Sulalita muke madhura hasi chande daliyena amina rashi. On his graceful, playful face is a gentle smile. From the moon of his face flows a flood of nectar. And verse 5, Talamala Jala, Jaruna Anki, Sechahari Charu, Karuna Maki. Tears stream from his eyes. His glance is filled with mercy. Verse 6. Bareka se anke, dekaya yare, premiera patere, basaya tare. Any person who once sees him with his own eyes floats in an ocean of ecstatic spiritual love. Verse 7. Dinihina duki, kichu na bache, hena premadata, ke ara ache. He does not consider who is poor or fallen or troubled. Who is not like that? To every person, he gives the gift of ecstatic spiritual love. Narahari Hena, Prabhu Nabaji, Vishaya Visheshe, Rahila Maji. Alas, Narahari Das did not worship Lord Nityananda. That is why Narahari Das is now plunged in materialistic life. So that's the song with the translation. Yeah. And I can just mention that the last verse there, that in which he says that, verse 8, yeah, alas, Narahari Das did not worship Lord Nityananda. That is why Narahari Das is now plunged in materialistic life. Well, you know, the good news is that actually Narahari Das did worship Lord Nityananda. So don't worry. But that is why Narahari Das is now plunged in materialistic life. Well, more good news. He's definitely not plunged in materialistic life. But he's just deeply absorbed and submerged in transcendental life, the life of devotional service to Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna, and to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So that's the song, and next thing is, what's the tune? So this is the tune. I'll just sing it very briefly. It's not difficult at all, usually. Udana Pavana Nitai Mora Najanika Pave Sadai Amora Gora Gora Bali Du Bahutuli Matagajayena Chalaye Duli Kante Jalamala Malati Mala Harisara Buke Karaye Kela. Get the idea. Our mind, we're depending on you. Try your best. Okay. Now I saw some cartels, but Oh, there, sorry. Well, actually, maybe, can someone else play the cartels? An experienced cartel player. And I'll just sing. Okay, devotees, here we go. Nitai Mora. Nitai Mora. My Nitai. My Lord Nityananda. Bhuvana Pavana Nitai Mora Dadai Pave Dadai Mora Bhuvana Pavana Nitai Mora Dadai Pave Dadai Mora Lord Nityananda, Sri Nityananda Prabhu King, Sri Nityananda Prabhu King, Sri Nityananda Prabhu King, Go Premanande. Good, well done, and thank you. You have a bright future in harmonium playing. I think so, yeah. Good. So, okay, let us say a few words about Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, because wherever one is, the other is also there, inseparable. First of all, please repeat after me. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Today Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaura Hari Pracharne. Nirvishesha Shuddhavadi Pasachati Shattarne. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancham Trivyasanki Prasindha Vyacha, Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. With respects to all the devotees. So, Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, we are talking about Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna. They're not different, they're the same, just in two little different forms. And in order to understand the nature, the character of Lord Nityananda, we need to understand the nature of Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram, of course, as the first expansion of the Lord, you cannot get any closer to Krishna than being the first expansion. So he's very, very special, but, well, put it this way, Srila Jiva Goswami, great Acharya and associate of Lord Chaitanya and of Lord Nityananda, he says that if you ask Krishna, who is God? Krishna says, me. Straightforward. Yes. Even he may point to his chest and say, me, for emphasis. If you ask Lord Balaram, who is God? Well, he has every right also to say, me. But he doesn't. If you ask Lord Balaram, who is God, what will he say? Krishna. Who is God? Krishna. Then if you ask him, well, who are you then? He will say, I'm a devotee of Krishna. I'm a servant of Krishna. See, there's really a substantial and very significant difference in their natures and their characters and how they see themselves and how they see life. Lord Balaram is completely fixed in the conception, the self-conception that I am a servant of Lord Krishna, my brother. I'm the servant. That's who I am. That's what I am. And there's nothing else in his mind. And the same applies with Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Of course, Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in the mood of being a devotee. So if you ask him who's God, he generally, usually, not always, but usually, he will not say me, but sometimes he does. Like if you're familiar with the great Shatta Prahariya Bhava pastime, where Lord Chaitanya called all the devotees and revealed to them one by one for 20 hours or 21 hours how he had associated with them previously in other forms, in other situations. Then he was very emphatic that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the beginning. If you're familiar a bit with the pastime, in the beginning, they were at Srivas Thakur's house, where they were having kirtans through the night. And it was early in the evening, and Lord Chaitanya, or maybe it was actually in the afternoon, Lord Chaitanya went over to the altar. On his altar, Srivas Thakur had Shalagram Shila, particularly, traditional deity of like strict Brahmins. So what Lord Chaitanya did, he moved Shalagram Shila aside and sat on the altar where Shalagram Shila had been. We do not do that. So, but he did. And he just sat there for 20 or 21 hours, calling devotees and explaining, before we were together, you and I, in this situation or that situation. So, but otherwise, of course, Lord Chaitanya, he objected strongly if people told him that he's Krishna. But like in that situation, Mahaprakash Leela, and other situations when they went to confront, when they went with the big Harinam party to confront the Kazi, Lord Chaitanya was in that mood that I am the Supreme Lord, and who does this little fellow think he is? He thinks he's important, he can dictate to me, the Supreme Lord. He's just a joke. So he was in that mood again of being the Supreme Lord. But, be that as it may, we are focusing on Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda was in exactly the same mood towards Lord Chaitanya. That he is my Lord, I am his servant, and that's it. That's our relationship eternally. So sometimes then, Lord Nityananda would, when he was staying in Jagannath Puri with Lord Chaitanya, just shortly after Lord Chaitanya had taken sannyas, then Lord Nityananda would just wander around Jagannath Puri, and he had a special mantra which describing himself, and the mantra went, Chaitanyera Muni Dasa, Chaitanyera Das. Chaitanyera Dasa Muni, Dasa Dasyera Das. Which basically means, I'm a servant of Lord Chaitanya, I'm a servant of Lord Chaitanya, I'm a servant of Lord Chaitanya, and I am a servant of his servants. So yes, Lord Nityananda, in the same mood as towards Lord Nityananda, in the same mood as Lord Balaram towards Lord Krishna, he was just deeply, deeply absorbed in the mood of being Lord Chaitanya's devotee. And an interesting point about that is that sometimes if someone is a servant, an assistant of some other like senior person, then they adopt the mission of their senior as their mission. In fact, this is one of the symptoms of surrender. There's 6 symptoms of surrender given by particularly Sananga Swami and given by Lord Chaitanya. And one of them is that you accept the mission of the Lord as your mission, and you don't see yourself having any other mission in life other than to carry out, put into effect the mission of your master. So Lord Nityananda was like that. And if you remember, you know, I know many, maybe all, but certainly many of you, you're familiar with a lot of these pastimes, and the pastime of Jagai and Madai. You're familiar with that. Well, in that pastime, Lord Nityananda, he, having accepted the mission of Lord Chaitanya's mission, and meaning the mission of Patita Pavan, deliverer of the most fallen, understanding, look at that, okay, Ajahn, okay, yes, it's okay, I will not bite you, I am vegetarian. And we want your close association. So, right, and Lord Chaitanya's mission, it's like, well, it is, not just like, it is his identity. He's Patita Pavan, deliverer of the fallen. So, Lord Nityananda, understanding this is the mission of my master, he accepted that as his mission also, completely, totally. And what happens sometimes, in some cases, and this, the whole Jagai and Madai incident is that's there in that particular pastime, is that not only did Lord Nityananda accept that mood of Patita Pavan from Lord Chaitanya and accept that as his mood and his business in life, but it is arguable that he accepted it even more than Lord Chaitanya did. Because, again, if you're familiar with the pastime, you would know that Madai, it was actually Madai who eventually, I mean, there were a couple of backs and forths over a day or two between them, but eventually Madai struck Lord Nityananda on the forehead with a piece of clay pot, which wounded Lord Nityananda, and blood came. Now, of course, some people might raise the question, we thought the Supreme Lord doesn't have a body with blood and veins, right? Isn't that what Ishapanishad says? Well, you know, if he wants to have transcendental blood, he can have it. And you can't tell him that, look, Ishapanishad says you don't have blood, so you can't bleed. All right. You can't tell him that because he's the Lord. If he wants to, he'll bleed. And he did. In fact, he bled so much. It was like down his chest, on his dhoti, and it was really pretty drastic situation. And then Lord Chaitanya came with the Sudarshan chakra to just destroy just completely destroy, particularly Madai, but both of them, Jagai and Madai. But then Lord Nityananda had to remind Lord Chaitanya, my Lord, please don't kill them, because your mission, why you've come, is because you are Patita Pavan. You're the deliverer of the fallen. And here they are, the most fallen. Here they are. So you must deliver them. Otherwise, how can you say you're Patita Pavan if you just obliterate them? Then how can you really say that you're Patita Pavan? So please. And Lord Nityananda actually said, just give them to me. Deliver them and give them to me. And I'll take them, I'll look after them. And he did that. So my point was, particularly that Lord Nityananda, he's so much in Lord Chaitanya's mood of Patita Pavan that he had to remind Lord Chaitanya, don't forget, you're Patita Pavan, so you can't kill them. If you're going to kill them, you're going to be killing a lot of people in this Kali Yuga. So therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes an interesting point. It is a little subtle point. Not everyone gets it. But just consider this, that when we consider who is a person, what is a person, then we have to understand what is their interest in life, what is their mission in life. That's what their life is all about. Not just to be a human being, but that they're doing something in particular. That's who they are. Like someone says, I'm a doctor, because that's sort of his mission, that's his occupation. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, something like that. That's what I am. So in that sense, Lord Chaitanya is Patita Pavan, deliverer of the fallen. But in this incident, Lord Nityananda shows, arguably, it's possible to say, that he was more in the mood of Patita Pavan than Lord Chaitanya was. So therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that it can be said that Lord Nityananda was more one with Lord Chaitanya than Lord Chaitanya was one with himself. How does that sound? A bit, foggy or something. Anyway, that's what he says. Yes, so it's deep. Their relationship is really, really deep, extremely deep. And, for example, when Lord Chaitanya, he took sannyas, then he went down to Puri, then he toured South India, then he came back to Puri, and he just stayed in Puri with Ramananda Roy, Swarup Damodar, and some other devotees like that, and just heard and chanted about Krishna day and night. That's what they did. But Lord Chaitanya sent Lord Nityananda back to Bengal to keep spreading the Sankirtan movement and delivering the fallen, Patita Pavan. And Lord Nityananda really did that. And as we go on, today and maybe tomorrow, let's see how it goes, tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening maybe, then we'll give some examples and explain some pastimes of Lord Nityananda, which really show his nature as Patita Pavan. So anyway, now, like I said, to understand Lord Nityananda, we have to understand Lord Balaram. Otherwise, we may not get it, may not be as clear as it could be or should be. And yes, so Lord Balaram, what's the nature of Lord Balaram? Well, he's a devotee. He's very much a devotee. And previously he was Lakshmana. Lord Balaram is the older brother. He is actually the older brother. And Lord Nityananda is even older than, in relation to Lord Chaitanya than Lord Balaram is in relation to Krishna. Lord Balaram is just a matter of weeks or something along those lines. But in the case of Lord Nityananda with Lord Chaitanya, it's about 12 years. It's approximately 12 years difference in age. So, and there's a reason for that. Lakshman in relation to Lord Ram, Lakshman was the younger brother. And, as younger brother, as is traditional, very traditional in Vedic culture, that for the younger brother, the older brother is, particularly in the absence of the father, the older brother is to be accepted effectively as father. So that was the situation with Lakshman in relation with Lord Ram. But the thing was, there were some problems on that basis of Lord Ram being the older brother and Lakshman being the younger brother. And, I assume you're familiar with the pastimes of Lord Ram and what happened with Lakshman. But for example, when Sita Devi was kidnapped, then, well, first of all, Lord Ram went off to catch the deer, if you remember the story, and told Lakshman, stay here and guard Sita, and don't you move. But then the voice came from a little distance away that sounded like Ram's voice. Ram's calling out, Lakshman, help, come, save me, please, come now. And so Lakshman was bewildered what to do. He's ordered to stay there, but now he's being ordered to go. So initially he didn't go, he wouldn't go. But then Mother Sita, sort of twisted his arm a bit, if you know the story. Let's not get into all the details, but she twisted his arm. And so he felt, oh, I have to go, and he went. And then when he went, he found there was no problem. It was just what was his name? Marichi, who was imitating the voice of Lord Ram. And Lord Ram said to him, what are you doing here? And then they went back, but Sita had been stolen. And first of all, when Sita was appealing to Lord Ram, please go and catch that little deer, he's so beautiful, I want him for a pet. Then Lakshman was thinking, no, don't do it, something is wrong here. This is not a real deer, this is some magical entity who's going to cause trouble. So Lakshman was thinking like that and telling Ram, no, don't go. But then Ram, being pressurized by Sita, he decided to go. So then what we were saying happened, that Lakshman left and found Ram's okay, and then they came back and Sita was gone. And Ram said to Lakshman, said, listen, I told you not to leave her. Why did you leave her? And Lakshman, because he's the younger brother, he can't really just stand up and say, you listen, I told you not to go after that deer, but you wouldn't listen. If you had, this whole thing would not have happened. Couldn't say that. He just, older brother, okay. All right, sorry, I accept it. But in his mind and his heart, he was thinking, listen, brother, Baisab, listen, you were really the cause of the problem, don't blame me. And so Lakshman thought, just thought, didn't say anything, in our next lifetimes, I'm going to be the older brother. Because, I can handle difficult situations better than you. And then Sita was rescued, and then Lord Ram said to Lakshman, she's going to have to walk through fire to prove her purity. And Lakshman said, no, she doesn't have to do that. Everybody knows she's pure. Don't bother. And even if some people think maybe she's sort of technically not pure, who's going to build a fire for her to walk through and possibly hurt herself? No one's going to do that. And Lord Ram said, Lakshman, someone is going to do it. You are going to do it. And Lakshman thought again, I'm the younger brother, what can I do? This is not a good decision. Another bad decision. Well, what can I do? Next life, I'll be the older brother. And then, finally, at the end, there was the incident, right, with the Dobiwala. You understand Dobiwala? The laundryman who was complaining to his friends. Lord Ram was moving around in disguise to see what people thought about how he was ruling. And the one Dobiwala laundryman was saying, my wife spent the night in another man's house. I kicked her out. I just booted her right out. And she's gone. She's out. He said, I'm not like that Ram. His wife spent a month in the house of another man and he took her back. I'm not like him. And then Ram understood or decided, I have to banish Sita because it doesn't look good to some people. So again, he took Lakshman aside and he said, listen, she's going to have to be banished to the forest. And Lakshman said, no, she doesn't need to. Just because some Dobiwala says something, why do you need to banish your very faithful and wonderful wife? So you don't do it. There's no need to do it. And even if there are some people like the Dobiwala who criticize you, who's going to take her and leave her in the forest? No one's going to do that. And Ram said, Lakshman, someone is going to do it. You are going to do it, Lakshman. And the third time, Lakshman's thinking, this is another bad decision. So for sure, next lifetime, I'm going to be the older brother. And I can work things out when these tricky situations arise. So therefore, the next time, he came as Balaram, who is a little older, but he is older. And Lord Krishna sees him as older and relates with him as older brother, offers some respect to him and does what he says sometimes. So there's still some difficult situations arose. Like, for example, the Kaliya Damana Leela. Lord Krishna, well, Balaram was not there, it was his birthday. He was at home having a birthday party. And it was just Krishna with the cowherd boys and the cows or the calves. And Krishna got captured by Kaliya. What a disaster. And some elderly man went running back and alerted everyone back in the village. Krishna is in danger, you got to come. So they all came running out. And you know what they were thinking? If Balaram had been there, this would not have happened. But he wasn't there. So therefore this happened. So even though Balaram was the older brother, but he was just the older brother. And I mean, there were a few other related incidents also. So then Balaram decided, next time, I'm going to really be the older brother. Not just, a few weeks or something like that. I'm going to really be like practically a different generation. Then he'll do what I say. So then he appeared as Lord Nityananda. Yes. And he had that mood. He had that mood. Deeply absorbed in the mood of being the older brother and protecting and caring for. Like, for example, if you're familiar with the description in Chaitanya Charitamrita of the Rath Yatra, and Lord Chaitanya is dancing wildly. It's just, out of this world completely. But what is Lord Nityananda doing? Walking behind him with his hands out to catch Lord Chaitanya if he should fall. Yeah. So he really has that mood, the mood of being the servant, like that, and appreciating the sweetness of the Lord, how servable he is, how respectable he is, and how sweet it is to engage in his service. It's just the most wonderful thing. So you may know, I'm sure so many, maybe all of you know, there is a famous painting of little Krishna, like baby Krishna, basically. He's lying on some sort of leaf, like a big banyan leaf or something of that sort. He's lying on his back, and he's sucking one of his big toes. You've seen that picture. I think everyone's seen that picture. Nice picture. So do you know that while Krishna was doing that, and floating, the leaf is floating on water, and he's on top of the leaf, one devotee came and asked Krishna, why are you sucking your toe? People normally do not suck their toes. And Lord Krishna said, well, the thing is, so many devotees say, my lotus feet are very sweet. And I wanted to find out for myself if it's true. Therefore, I'm sucking my toe. And I can inform you that is true. My lotus feet are very sweet. And he continued sucking as he floated away. Yes, so, let me just read a couple of few verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita about what I've just been talking about, particularly with Ram and Lakshman. This is Adi Leela, chapter 5, verse 149, and a couple of few verses after that. Nityananda Swarupa Purve, Haya Lakshmana, Lagu Brata, Haya Kare, Ramira Sevana. Lord Nityananda Swarup formerly appeared as Lakshman and served Lord Ramachandra as his younger brother. Ramira Charitra Sabha, Dukyara Karana, Swatantra Lilaya Dukkha, Sahena Lakshmana. The activities of Lord Ram were full of suffering, but Lakshmana of his own accord tolerated that suffering. And I'll just read the next couple of verses, the translations. As a younger brother, he could not stop Lord Ram from his resolution, and so he remained silent, although unhappy in his mind. When Lord Krishna appeared, he, Lakshman, became his elder brother, Balaram, to serve him to his heart's content and make him enjoy all sorts of happiness. Sri Chaitanya say Krishna, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Purna Kare, Chaitanya Rakam. Lord Chaitanya is the same Krishna, and Lord Nityananda is Lord Balaram. Lord Nityananda fulfills all of Lord Chaitanya's desires. You know, there's a number of reasons why, I explained one of the main reasons why Lord Nityananda or Lord Balaram, they're in the mood of servant to Krishna or Lord Chaitanya. There's another reason, and it's a very important reason. If you've read Chaitanya Charitamrita, then you would have seen how when Lord Krishna returned to Goloka Vrindavan some 5,000 or so years ago, he was there and he was thinking, what a wonderful time I had on planet Earth. What a wonderful time. I was enjoying so much. All these devotees, so many wonderful devotees were serving me. And I was getting so much pleasure from being served by them. So now Lord Krishna is thinking and thinking and thinking about this. Then suddenly an idea came to his mind, or a realization came, that even though I was getting so much enjoyment from being served by all these wonderful devotees, but it seems to me they were getting more pleasure from serving me than I was getting from being served by them. And Lord Krishna went into a deep meditation, thinking about different devotees. Such and such devotee was enjoying twice as much as me. Oh, that's amazing. And some other devotee was enjoying 5 times as much as me from serving me than I was enjoying from being served by him or her. And some other devotee, was enjoying 10 times more. And another devotee 20 times more. Another devotee 50 times more than me by serving me. And then he started thinking of the gopis. And this particular gopi, was enjoying 100 times more than me by serving me. And another one, 200 times, 500, 1,000 times. And finally he came to Srimati Radharani, and he understood, he realized she was enjoying by serving me. He was enjoying by being served by her. Then Krishna had, like, it was, have you heard this little saying, to have a wow moment? Like, wow, what's going on? Krishna had a wow moment. And Krishna thought, wow, I've had enough of being God. I'm going to be a devotee. Then he came as Lord Chaitanya. So the interesting news is Lord Balaram had already realized that long before, long time. So he is practically just permanently, eternally in the mood of being wholehearted servant. Yes, so Lord Balaram, just to get a perspective, kind of angular vision on it, to think about what does Lord Balaram, how does Lord Balaram serve Lord Krishna? Let me give you some examples. First of all, he appears as Sankarshan. And then he becomes Mahasankarshan, who is the main deity in Vaikuntha. Mahasankarshan, then with Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, they're the main deities of Vaikuntha, as opposed to Goloka Vrindavan. But of them, Mahasankarshan is the main one, and he is Balaram. And Lord Balaram, Goloka Vrindavan is sustained by the energy of Lord Balaram, and Vaikuntha by the energy of Lord Balaram as Mahasankarshan. Then Lord Balaram expands as Mahavishnu, who is the presiding deity of the whole material realm. And then Mahavishnu expands as Garbhadakshay Vishnu in each universe, and then as Shiradakshay Vishnu within every atom. And these are all, they all have the same mood. They're all forms of Balaram, and their mood is, we will serve Krishna by correcting all these fallen conditioned souls, making different arrangements so that they become corrected in this material world. Even devotees in Singapore. Even in Singapore. It's a fact. Yes. So they're doing this all. What is the material world here for? It's not just so we can try to enjoy, although we do try to enjoy, but that's not what it's made for. Like this microphone, you can use it as a weapon. You can hit someone on the head with it. It would work. I'm sure you'd hurt their head. But that's not what it's for. So the material world it can be used for an attempt to enjoy. But that's not what it's for. You could say it's a place, well anyway, it's a place designed to correct. At least in the long run, it takes some time, because the enjoying mood is very deeply ingrained. But still, it's designed to correct the living entities. After a while, for them to think, gosh, I've been trying and trying and trying to enjoy, but I've just been failing miserably. So maybe there's some other approach to take in life. Maybe rather than trying to enjoy myself, I should try to help Krishna, to help God enjoy. And in this way, the living entities become corrected. So Mahavishnu, Gavadaksha Vishnu, Shiradaksha Vishnu, they're like that. Then there's Ananta Shesh, and then his umbrella